Welcome back, everyone, to House General and Housing, and it's still Thursday, February 12th, and we are still hearing testimony concerning the housing funding landscape that will help us in our recommendations to the Appropriations Committee via letter some late next week. And our next witness is Chad Simmons. Chad, come and
Morning, Dan.
share your wisdom.
I
Did you
do my
leave here
best.
last night? Did you leave here last night?
By the way,
that question.
Elizabeth, can you hear us? Well, either she stepped away or she can't hear us. But we still have a quorum in any case, and we have Salvia. Okay,
Yeah, there is sound.
all right. Chad,
Good morning. Again, for the record, Chad Simmons with the Housing and Homelessness Alliance of Vermont. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to the committee again about our priorities for the FY27 budget. I don't have much to add from the first time I came in January, but I did want to express our strong support for investments in the Vermont Housing and Conservation Board and the work they do to provide permanently affordable housing for Vermonters. This has been a perennial priority for our alliance over the last number of years, and for good reason. It is the best investment that Vermont can make on behalf of the taxpayers to ensure folks have safe, decent, and permanently affordable housing. We believe that it's also a really good investment to address our homelessness, insecurity, and our homelessness crisis. As I shared yesterday and provided some data, our state is really struggling to ensure people have safe shelter. And so VHCB has been a strong partner in financing both the shelter system and getting people into permanently affordable housing. So HHAV is continuing to advocate for a one-time $40 million investment in VHCB funding for the FY27 budget, in addition to the statutory amount of $37.6 million through the property transfer tax. And we believe these investments will allow, as Gus and Polly talked about yesterday, will provide some clarity for the pipeline to develop over the next couple of years. Sorry, I missed Chris Donnelly's testimony that just happened recently, but we are in strong support of that pipeline being built out over the next the coming years, and the critical importance of that financing and funding for affordable housing. I would also say too, I think the question was raised yesterday about the impact on taxpayers. I think it's a fair question. And I think HHAB's position is that these investments, these taxpayer investments, are critical to providing the deeply affordable housing that Vermonters need. And I think in my testimony and our advocacy and other committees, and it's been clear that the investments in VHCB has allowed us to get people out of homelessness and then into secure long-term housing situations. And then I would also add too that provides some certainty for our housing partners, our nonprofit housing network across the state, to allow them to do the great work that they do. So I'm here in strong support of FY27 investments for VHCB. HHAB is also in support of our base funding for VHIP. I know this committee is very familiar with that, those efforts, and we see that as an important tool in Vermont's toolbox to bring housing units online that for a variety of reasons, health and safety reasons, may not be suitable for housing right now. So we feel that is an extremely important tool. And I would add that our nonprofit providers are helping to facilitate, get those dollars out the door and into the property owner's hands to be able to make the improvements in those properties and get people housed. Those are our two housing priorities for the FY 27 budget, and I want to take any questions. I know I've shared in our previous conversations around investments in homelessness response, which we are working with a broad coalition of folks to get into the budget memo for the Human Services Committee as well.
Questions for Chad? Yes, Debbie.
In that VHIP program, are you finding that when a tenant moves out that a lot of rehab has to be done to the units?
I'm not familiar, or I don't have data on any kind of work that needs to be done. I would talk to our providers who do the work and work with property owners, as well as I talk to.
No, I talked to Sean.
Yeah.
Sean Gimpin when he was with that program, and he was voicing that he was in the duty that they had to fix
Yeah, I don't have.
I think he's coming in
He's
on
coming in.
Friday.
He's
I
coming
know,
in.
I'm so excited.
Other questions for Chad? I have one difficult question to ask. I don't know. You may wish to say no comment. It sounds as if you're saying our first priority is VHCB. So if all we had was not 40 million, but 1 million, you'd give it to VHCB?
I think state investments in VHCB are critical to our housing needs as a state.
How about that? for
Yeah, that was
He is so
very,
tactful.
very excellent, or
Very
very excellent.
Yeah, very excellent. Wonderful.
I
Yes.
don't know. Good job, John.
See.
1 million, ooh.
If there was 1 million, don't think I'm asking these questions hypothetically.
Oh.
If there was $1 million and we had to decide whether to give it, I mean, this isn't going to make its way into our letter but it might make its way into somebody's mind. If there was $1 million and we had to choose whether to give it to VHCB or rental arrears, where would you put it? Welcome to our world.
I understand the situation you all are in, and I think we are all in as a state. I think HHAB's position will continue to be that we need to invest in all of them, and we understand that there is limited state resources. I would add that we are also in support of progressive revenue raising.
Right.
And I do think that is something the legislature should strongly consider in a year that a fair amount of Americans got to see some extra money in their pockets where a number of our poorest Americans did not. And so I think there is some equity and some serious contemplation that the legislature should have around raising revenue to ensure Vermonters have housing.
Do you know whether HHAV is planning to testify in favor of the bills which do that?
We are actively exploring all of the bills and have not yet weighed in on the revenue raising bills. And so look forward to having those opportunities.
Right. Other questions of this man before we let him go?
I'm sure we'll see you back.
I hope so.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank
Ted.
you.
All right. So we're now going to take a break. At 10:30, we'll be joined by Cameron Wood, and we will continue to explore the landlord-tenant scale. Also, another landlord-tenant witness will be with us tomorrow. And she's a practitioner, and I think we'll have questions for her as well. Nadine Sybeck represents Champlain Housing Trust and most of the other nonprofit landlords. So we should go offline. We will be back online in approximately 15 minutes.